How's it going, everybody? Headed into 4th of July weekend, isn't it great? God bless America. Greatest country there is, ever was, and ever will be. Isn't that the line a wrestler used to say? Woo! All right. Headed into the weekend, I'm doing my American thing. I'll be eating a lot of trash. Burgers, hot dogs, chicken, chips. Probably lay off the soda, though. I've been laying low on that. So, what better way to celebrate all the trash food I'm going to consume this weekend than to share with you a bunch of trash news. A lot of you are probably familiar with the story. We'll check out the videos real quick. I haven't seen her videos, and I just kind of skimmed the article. Like I always say, that's how I like to do it. I like to have a genuine reaction to things as they come along. It's kind of a surprise for me. So this is from the Daily Mail, everybody. Harvard grad blames Trump supporters for being fired from her dream job at Deloitte after posting a TikTok video saying she'd stab anyone who said all lives matter. Oops, I just said it. Hey, Claria, all lives matter. Harvard graduate. Well, there you go. Harvard. Echo chamber. Claira? I want to say that's Claira Janover made a video earlier this week threatening to stab anyone who had the nerve to say all lives matter. Did it again. I would love to come across a person like this, and I would say it right to her face. But that's the thing about social media, right? People know that they can say all this stuff, and I don't know. Let's read a little bit more, watch the videos. Maybe she was kidding. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen the videos. I've just seen a little bit of a snippet of it. She said she would stab someone, and while they bled out, show them a paper cut and say, "My cut matters too." Okay? The video went viral and caught the attention of her bosses at Deloitte. Janover returned to TikTok on Wednesday to tearfully reveal she'd been fired. She blamed Trump supporters for it and accused Deloitte of cowardice. Now, are giving her donations on Venmo and on Gofundme. They say she is at great financial and physical risk. She looks like an Antifa-type victim, so maybe they're going to be after her, huh? Antifa? The Harvard graduate went viral for saying she'd stab anyone who told her all lives matter in a TikTok video has tearfully returned to the video sharing site to reveal that she'd been fired from her dream job at Deloitte. Claira Janover, I'm just going to call her Janover, who graduated in May with a degree in government and psychology. Psychology, huh? Posted a TikTok video this week where she said angrily, "The next person who has the nerve to tell me all lives matter, I'm going to stab you. I'm going to stab you. I'm going to stab you, and while you're bleeding out, I'm going to show you my paper cut." They said she probably said it, but they really spelled it out like that. I love it. And say, "My cut matters too." She says it was a satirical analogy that was taken at face value when it shouldn't have been. The video went viral, and many critics called for her to be fired because of it. On Wednesday night, Janover returned to the video sharing app to blame Trump supporters for taking her job from her. Sorry, baby, you did that. What company would want to be associated with that, especially in the divisive times that we live in, right? I know this is what Trump supporters wanted because standing up for Black Lives Matter put me in a place online to be seen by millions of people. Doubt it, baby. Everybody out there is trying to throw up that black box and trying to act like they care about the organization itself. Obviously, we all know, all of you out there get this, that all lives do matter. Some matter more than others, though. Pedos, rapists, murderers, people who really victimize individuals, killing anybody, those people don't matter to me. Everybody else, we're a little bit above those people, so we get to matter a little bit more, just the good people in life. The job that I worked really hard to get and meant a lot to me just called me and fired me because of everything. I don't know if everyone's seen, but my BLM videos have been circulating a lot. They were picked up by conservatives and spread and shared, and people were demanding that I be fired which I just got the job I worked really hard for. I'm still not going to stop talking about and defend Black Lives Matter. You can't take away my spirit and my devotion for human rights, she said. Okay, well, what's interesting to me, and perhaps a lot of you have noticed this, but the loudest BLM supporters, and I alluded to this in a video a few days ago, the individuals you generally see out there supporting BLM for whatever reason, they aren't black. There's a whole lot of white people out there. Interesting how they've managed to brainwash these individuals into thinking that this organization really stands for what the name stands for. Like I said, all lives matter to me equally, except that list I gave of scumbags. Scumbags' lives don't matter. Should have thrown politicians on that list too. In a second video, she sobbed. Trump supporters took my job away from me. All right, let's watch the video. You're tired of hearing me. Yikes. What is that? All right, so this is the first video here where she makes the threats. And they play the second video above, it looks like, so they put them out of order. So this is where she's making the threats.
The next person who has the sheer nerve, the sheer entitled caucasity to say all lives matter, I'm gonna stab you. I'm gonna stab you, and while you're struggling and bleeding out, I'm gonna show you my paper cut and say, my cut matters too.
All right, well, kind of goofy. She really did use the word "I'ma" though. All right, so let's check out the sobbing Trump supporter blame here.
Took my job away from me. I've gotten death threats, rape threats, violent threats. It was okay, but now it doesn't make my future. My future is entirely compromised because Trump supporters have decided to come for my life. God, this sucks. You guys suck. I'm too strong for you. I'm too strong for any of you. All lives matter. Raises Trump supporters. It sucks, but it doesn't suck as much as systemic racism. And I'm not going to stop using my platform to advocate for it. And I'm sorry, Deloitte, that you can't see that. That you are cowardice enough to fight somebody who's going to make an indelible change in the world and is going to have an impact.
And there it was, everybody, that last part of the video. Deloitte, you're cowards for not wanting a psycho working for you. And she's going to make an indelible change. Yeah, baby, we'll forget about you by tomorrow. So, ego, right? It's what I always talk about, and this is kind of something, I'm not going to paint millennials with a broad brush, but maybe I am. No, it's this perception of mine, being a geezer that I am, that this is all they really care about. That this is really how they've been raised to think of themselves for whatever reason, to think that what they're doing is really making an indelible impact on society, that that's somehow their place in society, that they've been raised in this way where they feel like that's all that really matters. But the reality is, what is the change that you are trying to make? You're a person here who probably refers to herself as a POC. She may have, I think there's a little more in the article, give her time to talk about some isms as well. But what is what you're talking about really accomplishing? Black Lives Matter is a phony organization. It's a fake. I've always said it. There was a video making the rounds recently that had the BLM founders talking about Marxist ideology. Is that what everybody believes in the organization? Yeah, probably not. But individuals, will say higher-ups within the organization, I'm sure they love seeing these foot soldiers do all the work while they collect the money and get the notoriety. It amazes me how they've been able to fool this generation of young people. And this has to be a smart individual. She went to Harvard. She got into Harvard. I never could. Graduated from Harvard. I probably never would have been able to had I even gotten in. To be somebody that's so intelligent, but to be taken in by such a despicable organization like BLM. Hey, I'll give BLM credit though, a little sidebar here. Great job on the marketing and the packaging, because they managed to convince this whole generation of young people, and like I said, mainly white people, that the United States was somehow this horrible, disgusting, worst country in the world. That the place they live in now has to all be torn down and everything has to be given to Black Lives Matter, the organization, in terms of money. That being said, we know all lives matter, like I've said a few times. Say it again, even with threats of getting stabbed in the eye by this woman. All right, we scroll down a little bit here. It looks like they basically just talk about the text. Go ahead and pause that if you want to read that. And let me just add something. Who is this? Who is this? Hello, sexy lady. I don't know who that is or whose photo that is, but that is certainly not that. Maybe this was this divine creature a long time ago. High school graduation, because, yeah. All right, let's see. In the original clip, she has over 113,000 followers. She can be heard saying, the next person who has the sheer nerve, the sheer audacity, yeah. Okay, we got all that. Across the nation, powerful protest, yeah, okay, we got all that too. The All Lives Matter phrase has been criticized as erasing the experiences of Black people and dismissing the racism that African Americans and Black communities across the world. Oh, so it's all over the world now. Nice. Oh, look at what's this here. Walmart comes under fire for selling an All Lives Matter something or other. I want to click on it. It's red, white, and blue. Oh, let's click on it. We're not going to read this full thing, but this here will tell you all you need to know. Walmart comes under fire for selling All Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter t-shirt as critics slam the superstore for detracting from Black solidarity movement. What's next? White robes and hoods? Oh man, they went from 0 to 500 million in 2 seconds. You sold a t-shirt? You might as well sell a Klan hood. You might as well sell a noosh. You might as well sell guns and bullets that only kill Black people. And that's why normal people, I think, would wake up to the realities of the BS of BLM. Now, again, we're not saying this is everybody, of course, but this is how they market it and how they try to shame companies into bending to their will. Oh, I was just scrolling through this. Look at this. This is what I like right here. A customer in Canada blasted Walmart for selling the items, saying, do better. How much do you want to bet? Since Canada's how much white? Extremely white. They're what the US was, 50, 60 years ago? I don't know the demographics, but my guess is it's, other than Toronto, perhaps, and maybe British Columbia and Vancouver, that it's got to be 80% white, maybe? Man, there's a lot of pale faces around there. That's what I noticed when I was there in November. White people, trying too hard to signal that virtue. Let's go back to the other story. I want to show you some of the comments real quick. And they're probably what you'd expect. Oh, real quick, this is her GoFundMe. I actually saw that it was up to about $6,300. Oh, I had heard somebody else talking about this, and this was just an internship. It wasn't even a job that she had started yet. So look at her trying to latch herself onto the BLM movement here and try to play that race card. Sorry, baby. Asians, assuming she's Asian, I don't know. If you're not Black, companies aren't letting you play that card. Asians, assuming she's Asian, I don't know about that last name, but not so much. You guys get discriminated at. Surprised she even got into Harvard. She had to score higher than other races in order to get in, but we're not going to talk about that Supreme Court decision that allowed that to continue to happen, are we? There, Harvard and other Ivies. It's interesting how other individuals are trying to attach themselves to this movement. Sorry, baby. BLM doesn't mean you. All Lives Matter would mean her, though. What gives anybody the right to say they'll stab anybody, Haha, brilliant, serves her right. She didn't have a job. She was going to do a summer internship, which got canceled. And there you go. That's what I had heard. It was a summer internship. I wasn't aware that it had been canceled, but it makes sense due to the current economic environment. So, what do you think? Are we calling BS on this or what? Obviously, this didn't help her cause, but what if, I'm just throwing this out there, timeline-wise, what if she had gotten word that the internship was going to be canceled, right? Say it was a Monday and she got word. And then all of a sudden, like I've said before, we know one way you can get sympathy and followers in society is to be anti-Trump or anti-Trump supporter. She came up with this concoction and said, hey, I'm going to throw this out here. It's probably going to go viral. Again, we're giving her credit for having some intellect, which an Ivy League degree doesn't necessarily convey. But she created this video to try to give an excuse for getting fired, to try to blame it on other individuals, when she knows very well that the internship was going to go away anyway. Now, I'm taking people's word for it there. Now, I'm taking people's word for it. I didn't look into that. But what if she created this and then is trying to blame it on Trump supporters and Trump in order to create a situation with this GoFundMe? Because look at that. I saw it was over $6,300, and this was when I was looking at stories probably like 12 hours ago. They said she has a Venmo as well. So can you imagine? She's at 6,300. It's probably going to hit 10K combined at some point. So can you imagine that? What a hustle, right? You managed to have your summer internship terminated, which may or may not have been paid. I don't know. If it was paid, probably wouldn't have been that much. But now you don't have to do anything all summer long, and you're just raking in the cash. And that's what I've told everybody before, weeks ago in videos I've done. Just if you want to write a book, get a job in the Trump administration, do something to get fired, and then come out with the big tell-all. Or if you want to go viral for something, do something anti-Trump. And that's why, even though I'm not on the left or the right, I try to stay away from Trump stuff as much as possible because it's too easy. It's easy to get a buzz or get an audience by hating Trump. I'd rather try to do things that are more interesting, intriguing, harder to do, like the path of more resistance than the path of least resistance. It's easy to hate Trump, but like I said, it's easy to say F the police, all this stuff. That stuff is easy to get clicks with, so that's why I try to avoid that kind of stuff. Anyway, is she faking it? Is she a phony? Is this some kind of ruse? Is it pre-planned? I don't know. I wouldn't put it past any leftist type individual, especially somebody who's been brainwashed into thinking BLM really stands for what the words mean. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Take it easy. And hopefully you're well. Have a good 4th of July. And stuff your faces. And if you do, though, maybe jog a lap or two around the block first. That's what I'm going to do. Take it easy, everybody.